but would you like formal training?
No.
I don't need a formal training. All you gonna get is this Glock. Mr. Glizzy-sama. How y'all doing, JCs? It's your boy Josh, and welcome back to Ebon Life. Shout out Balcony and shout out to everyone who's been watching the series. I support y'all. I see each and every one of you. Appreciate you supporting black business. So we pretty much talked to Dulai. Now we gotta talk to Erno, Heron, Vane, Lacey. Alright, Erno. His attention shifted over to me in surprise. A brief hesitation. He stepped away from Dulai and Heron and approached me. Okay. Alright, yeah. Skleem, sloop, get out of here. As I understand, my brother pulled you from the fire. In a matter of speaking, what you gonna do? Hate on me? He should have never saved you. We get it, bro. We see everything you're saying at this point. Leave. The door is right behind us. Go somewhere. I think I might have preferred to be executed. I mean, I'm gonna be a little nice. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. No, he did. He saved me. I like to imagine the whole affair was glorious and remarkable, but I know better. It was remarkable anyway. I'm still surprised it worked. What did he do? We sort of just bluffed our way out of the situation. What? You ain't got no hands? Bruh. What would you do with that situation? Run, because you couldn't do anything anyway. Erno looked resigned and glanced back at his brother. Unsurprising. It's very dangerous out here, but if you fortify the cabin when we leave and keep quiet at outside. Okay, now you give me some tech. Okay, hold up. And looking around, with this assembly of people in addition to Kalapoa's influence, you'll have a fighting chance, at least. Shut up. I'll definitely fight. I'm not gonna say I'm glad you're here. I mean, I don't care about you. You didn't care about me, I didn't care about you. I'm not going down quietly. Good. There isn't any surrender if you hope to survive this kind of thing. In Kalia, especially, bound down is rarely looked upon kindly. Instead, we respect the tenacious. See, this is how you get to Valhalla. They respect that. I respect that. Something certainly you seem to be. I respect your refusal to back down, Kyla. Even if the situation seems hopeless. And on that note, you any martial training? What the? And not any formal training, but I know some things. What things you know? The booty bump? Like, hey there, mister. Oh, you know, like, stop. Don't ever use that in this situation, actually. Don't ever do that. We just gotta keep it real, you know? I mean, what do we know? No, I haven't. Then you expect to accomplish anything? I will do whatever I have to. Well, I'd say you had the mental for it. Don't take this as a promise or a plan, but would you like formal training?
No.
Maybe someday, but
no.
You think I'm stupid, bro? I got this. I don't need a formal training. All you gonna get is this Glock. What formal training we gotta do? Mr. Glizzy-sama. No. Shut up, nigga. Just cause you jealous. You ain't got your own glizzy. Go get your own glizzy, man. Get your own glizzy. Anyway, I definitely did not actually kiss my BB gun. Okay, let's say before he makes a fool of, because if he makes a fool of myself, bro, me, myself, and I is gonna have a cold day today. You know, I'll take it, bro. I'll take your offer. Screw it. I don't like to rub up on people's feet, but whatever. Yes, I think I would like that. Let's see what he says. He nodded, then watched me in silence with a curious expression on his face. I felt as though I was being assessed. I stood tall. I'll let you get back to your conversation. Yes, that's probably for the best. Those two make questionable decisions sometimes. Why does he like us all of a sudden? He was hating on us from the get-go. Why is he now like, oh, I'll give you formal training. Oh, I'll do this. Like, bro, can you do the Macarena? Bruh. All right, stop. That was weird. That was weird. Keep your wits about you. We'll be back for you soon. All right, whatever. I'll get that formal training so I can... You know, I got this, bro. It don't matter what type of hands I got. This is part of my hands, you know what I'm saying? This is my fourth leg. My fourth leg. All right, Heron. Akila. I made the mistake of catching Heron's gaze from the other side of the cabin. He unceremoniously broke from the conversation he was in and approached me. Hey, boy, you speeding? Where the highway cops? Well, today has been eventful. You mean you don't do this every day? Not that I wouldn't like to. Ever since I met you, life has been significantly more exciting. Really? You had a boring ass life, because this is boring right now, bro. I would have thought assaulting humans with powder and tricking gullible guards a rather uneventful day for a Gillian. That's what I'm saying, bro. Talk that talk, Akila. You think I should be off somewhere growling and swinging a blade or swinging a blade? So this is a romance thing. It's a romance thing. Shout out Sarah. She was saying that like you have options to flirt, but you don't really have to like go with that option. You could low-key go through the game without even trying to romance nobody. So I kind of like Heron. I feel like Vadain has been the nicest. Heron's been more close because of our special powers. Who's just been like, I want you to be good, successful. I think that's Vade, but then we don't really know Vade like that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like we're not even closest to the person that seems more genuine about our life. I would say Dulai is okay, but I mean, he's for ulterior motive, right? I feel like Lacey would be honest with you at least, because he's always kind of honest anyway and a little bit blunt and not really caring about your feelings. So maybe if anything, Lacey might be more honest, if anything. I mean, he did try to save us, but then again, he's just doing his job. Hopefully me picking this option doesn't make it where we're automatically lovers, but I want to at least see what happens. No, this is better. Feel free to rescue me all you like. What is that look? You cannot flirt and look like that, Akila. Sorry. I'll try. Majorly. Of course, I very much doubted it would be that easy again, which is why I will have to keep you far from harm. If nothing else, Heron seemed to get away with things he shouldn't, and he definitely seemed to be on my side. I've got the sense that just over the horizon, things will brighten considerably. Do you think so? Yes. I can't say I've predicted what will become of you in the cut and tell, but I don't believe you'll be pursued anymore. I think you'll be doing the pursuing. Oh, he wants me to attack. Grrr. You know, honestly, about that life. Yeah, that would be a nice switch. I want to fight for once. Let me fight. Oh. I would welcome the change. Yes. Would you seek revenge? To right the wrongs? To go home? To find answers? Why are you asking me all of this? To go home, I'd right all the wrongs. Find the answers, get revenge first. I don't know about revenge. I mean, who we revenging? Nobody died yet. I ain't Sasuke yet. I ain't Thorfinn yet. I would love to go home, but I mean, let's just do all of it since it's like probably a pretty easy answer to do. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this would affect something. I don't know why. I feel like these options don't really do much, but just maybe get in the character's head. Okay, this person wants to do this. I don't know. I'll just do all of it. I would do everything. I would have answers, retribution, and my home again. And I very much believe you will have what you want soon. So take heart. Don't let them manipulate you into obedience or be fearful when there was no cause. All will be well, Majali. Yeah, what is that word, bruh? What does that mean, man? Alright, I have to ask. What does that word you keep saying mean? Majali. He smiled, averting his gaze. It means something like shining light. Okay, you know, I do got crack cocaine for, you know, skin color. Why do you call me that? That's what you are. I should at least keep an ear to whatever they're saying. He smiled at me, looking very much reluctant. Walking back towards Dulai and, Ernal. And let me know if I'm butchering these guys' names, because I just be saying stuff.
Oh, we know.
Alright, let's talk to Vade. What's up, Vade? Conversation and Vade we're having appeared strained, to say the least. They don't like each other, so it makes sense. They weren't yelling, which given their expressions was something of surprise, as though they were both exercising a great deal of control to keep from getting in each other's faces. I ventured a little close, and they both turned to look at me. I felt vaguely put on the spot. You're discussing your patrols around the cabin? Vadang nodded quickly. Yes, we both have duties to attend. Things we can't avoid it for appearances alone, so we're trying to divvy up the schedules. Is it not going well? Better without interruption. Vadang's expression snapped, a scowl instantly on his face. With an abrupt scoff, Vadang moved toward the corner of the cabin, ushering me along with him. Don't listen to him. You had a blow after blow today, I hear. I'm glad you got here safe. You're really beating the odds, Akila. Alright, yeah, thank you for coming, bruh. Thank you for coming, Vadane. I'm sure I don't fully understand what it means for each of you to be here yet, but I assume it's a significant sacrifice, and I appreciate it. You're very welcome, Mikaela. I can't really give estimates on what exactly I'll be able to check in with you, and given it that it might be any hour of the day, we should come up with some kind of signal. Something non-verbal would be best. In case subtlety is important, how about 2 knocks on the door, a pause, 3 knocks on the door, a pause, 1 knock. So 2 plus 3 plus 1. 2 plus 3 plus 1. Yeah. 2 plus 3 plus 1. Yeah. Make it to a beat as we speak. About to lay it to hurt, you know. I'm about to lay on the verse, you know. I'm trying to spit and you know. I ain't trying to do all that curse, you know. I got kids on the way. And I ain't talking about bass. You know what I'm saying? Alright, stop. I'll make sure Lysiaga keeps his distance. Besides, he won't know the password. Alright, we gotta keep that mental note. It's 2, 3, 1. If anyone else does that, and it's not Vadane, we in trouble. I mean, they got ears. Look at their ears, bro. They could probably hear this. Looking around this cabin is strange. Lysiaga and I are working on something strictly outside of duty. However doubtful I am of his intentions, that is strange enough. Dualai and Heron, Kalapoa and Erno. I'm glad there is so much interest in the cut and tell, if only for your sake. But know that I will do what I can to get you back home, Mikaela. I'm not sure if that's what I want. So this prompt gives us a good perspective now. Do we want to go home? Especially with all the information that we know about the cut-to-tail. Our main objective is to figure out what the cut-to-tail is, right? So I feel like after we get that information, would we really go home after that? You know, they even talking with Heron, they gave up those other prompts. We could get revenge, we can right the wrongs, we could save people, but maybe there's going to be a series of events that's going to happen that's going to maybe change our mind about going home. Maybe that could be saving Galea, you know, maybe Galea is more important. Maybe building these bonds makes us realize we don't want to go back home. We want to help these people that help me. So who knows? I'm gonna say I'm not sure if that's what I want. I don't know if that's what I want. Really? I know. That must sound strange, but I'm simply not sure if I want to go home right now. Well, I wouldn't force you home any more than I'd force you here. The decision should be yours. He gave me one last smile and made his way back to his prior discussion. As long as he understands that, because I don't know, bruh. We don't know. All right, let's talk to Lacey. What's up, punk? From the corner of the room where Vadane and Lacey was in the midst of their pleasant conversation, Lacey's head swiveled in my direction. Without any sort of incredulous, I don't even know if I said that correctly.
Incredulous. Incredulous.
Sound it out. You have Google, bro. Oh my god. Bro, I've been editing this for like 3 hours, 2 hours, and look how much footage I have left. Help me. What? Can I talk to you for a moment? What? After a moment, he left Vadane and walked toward me. Did you want to admit how much of a complete fool you were? Beg forgiveness for having wasted my time? Marveled at your own stupidity in the company of someone who fully understands it? Uh-oh. We couldn't make him... I'm not gonna lie, we have not been in a good side with Lacey, but I mean, what the nigga expect? Alright, I actually want to know if he really wants to help, though. Like, you were really just going to bring me here? Yes, but I didn't believe. Well, you were wrong. I was sure I could be blamed for assuming otherwise, but the turn of events was something to ponder. I'm sure Vadane's visits will brighten your days out here. I think I should be the most concerned about the assassins. If the Mitwin is meddling with this because she has fancies of her own involving with you, you might end up wishing you'd been merely executed. Mitwin is the Grand General Galloy's wife. Hey bruh, your wife's a hoe. Shout out to my Persona 5 gameplay. By the way, if you, alright, nobody wanna watch Persona 5 gameplay. That'd be long as hell. Any scout out here to find you would likely not be explicitly looking, though that may change. If Galloys intentionally deploys my fellow scouts in search of you. But Dulai thinks Galloys has every reason to believe you're still in the city. It's the assassins who are not restrained by their master's preconception. They go where they please. So do pay attention. The Harpies are only beasts, and if you refrain from making a target of yourself, you'll be safe in here. Look at her face. She's like, And who are you to me? I'll stay vigilant. Yeah, I'm on my P's and Q's. Vardane and I have more to discuss. Better get all your questions out before we leave. All right, man. Find somewhere to sit. You're done talking. You know the babes. I glanced around the cabin again in one final, exhausted sweep before taking a seat on one of the cabin's 3 beds. This was where I would be spending my next few days. After the elves left, I did my best to get comfortable. I couldn't help but notice the similarities to the cabin I grew up in. Hopefully there were still certain stark differences that kept the illusion at bay. The wooden plank keeping the door locked from inside was particular comfort that Vanya and I had never had. I never really had anything to fear from anything that could open doors before. I was again and again astounded by how well armed the abandoned cabin was. The more I dug around, the more weapons I found. In addition to the 3 old swords and stringless bow, there was a cache, including an axe, a small blade, rope, and bowstring. I put the axe under the makeshift mattress I had assembled and kept the blade with me at all times, as the elves had suggested. Okay, so we got an old blade. I remained as quiet as I could, but it was difficult to remain quiet for what felt like days. Cabin had no windows, only slits in the walls covered by metal. I wasn't completely sure what they were for, but I got it in my head they were designed for shooting arrows though. I tried to peel back the metal once, but it made such a loud noise I thought better of it immediately. I was surrendered to staying quiet in a dim cabin with a single lantern. It was difficult to determine the time of day, and as a result I wasn't sure how much time had passed, but I knew it had been at least 2 days. Such a strange temptation to try one of the window slits again, or better, peek outside the door. That one grew stronger by the hour. The scouts hadn't been able to tell me how long it would be until they'd be able to check on me. I suppose 2 days had seemed more like enough time, because I found it increasingly difficult to remain calm. My mind began to conjure up scenarios where the scouts had been caught, and all the elves aiding in our scheme rounded up, and an executioner on his way to the cabin at any given moment, or worse, I'll be left out here to rot. Golly, Kyla, you are vivid in that mind. Merely waiting until I ran out of supplies, or was finally driven out into the forest of Harpy, racing for the shore where I could not swim. The mental theatrics were not helping. Whoa, wait, remember the knock signal? My eyes darted to the cabinet. A soft tap trailed from outside. A move along the wall until it stopped at the corner of the cabin. Then it began again. Having turned the corner, the tapping then made its way deeper, homing in on where I stood. I stayed as still as I could, barely daring to breathe. My eyes began to burn as I refused to blink. No further sound came. I'ma say for this one, I'ma prepare my dagger. My hand crept slowly to the dagger I kept on my person. I gripped the handle and gingerly moved my arm in a pose ready to strike. In an effort to prepare myself, I tried to imagine what was on the other side of the wall. Surely it wasn't Vardane or Lysiga come to check on me. This definitely was not the password we decided on. Yeah, I began to question everything any of the elves have told me. The motivations were surely unknown to me. Perhaps this was a part of their scheme. Were they trying to provoke me? Frighten me? Or is it not an elf at all? There were no further sounds. With each breath I thought I had provoked something from the outside wall, but nothing came. Put your ear to the wall. Alright, I'm gonna stay put. I told myself to stay quiet a while longer, that surely whatever was on the other side had not left so quickly. I stood where I was for what seemed a very long time. When I began to relax my stance, the noise returned. The tapping had moved to the other side of the cabin, where the beds were. I felt my body begin to shake. The tapping moved to the door of the cabin again, where there was a sudden and loud bang. I gasped, and instantly shrill scream rang out. Golly, bruh. The shaking began to take over my body as more voices joined the first, each a long and ugly sound ringing in awful chorus. I don't know, these options are interesting. It says trust that the walls and the door will hold. Take initiative. What does take initiative do? I don't know what it does. I don't want to like open the door or anything, so I'm just gonna trust. We already got our dagger, we already got what we got, and already saved, so let's see what happens. I could only hope that Lacey or Vardane did indeed have a handle on the beast, and that this was a cabin, that this cabin could withstand this assault. So I was determined to do nothing but wait. I watched as the door thumped against the plank, ready to jump up, hold it in place if it began to rock out of its brace. The knowledge these creatures were intelligent enough to concentrate on the door was, in its own, a whole new level of fear. How clever and relentless were they? The barrage didn't die down for hours. It never died fully. The harpies, as I was now sure to be contending with, lost some of their vigor, but they still scratched and thumped and clicked and screeched. So these are harpies. The noise becoming maddening. Bro, give up, bro. You're not getting booty cheeks. You ain't even got Miss Dashes on you. All right, that was forever. What is this? A voice matching my own thoughts, but not my voice, came piping through both my mind and my ear. Forever. What the freak? What? Is this my Cuttertail powers? My voice cracked. It had been a long time since I spoke it. The harpies outside piped aloud again in response, though by then my concentration had fully shifted to a new anomaly. What? There was no response, but still I became sure that I heard another. Forever. There was still no response. Perhaps the walls will indeed last longer than I warned you. That voice! What was it? It wasn't mine. Then I heard 2 taps, a pause, 3 taps, a pause, 1 tap. I nearly leaped out of bed. Akila? Oh my god. Vardane, you must stay quiet. Help. As quietly as I could, I opened the door to allow Vardane in. He let out a relieved sigh once he was in, then smiled briefly at me while putting the door's lock back in place. Alright. I'm gonna stay quiet. Taking his prior request to heart, I stayed quiet despite the barrage of questions I wanted to ask. He gave the door another look over, then he motioned me deeper into the cabin. We both stayed quiet for a long time. His eyes kept fixed on that front door with an intense sort of focus that did nothing for my nerves. In that silence with little to do but to remain as still as I could, wondering what the full nature of what that was outside the cabin. I had mentally prepared for a long list of questions, all of which went flying out the window when a loud knock came from the other cabin door. Vardane blew a breath of relief. Good. Assuming then I could finally speak, the first question in mind sprung out without such a thought. Who is it? I'm not sure who it is exactly, but one of the others here to take you back to the city. Oh, really? There were harpies surrounding this cabin. This definitely didn't go as smoothly as Dulai thought it would. He carefully opened the door. Dulai. Vardane sounded a little bit surprised. You're a very dependable elf in situations like these, aren't you, Vardane? I appreciate it. I didn't do it for you. All the same, you didn't come alone, did you? Okay. He didn't come alone. Alright, what's up? Oh, the Jonas brothers here. He certainly didn't. As futile in a fray as ever. Oh, Calipoa, what's up? Oh, shut up. We all know who put in the legwork here. Commander, it's Akila. And in one piece, that does warm a cold heart. When they told me they were keeping you out here, I thought they all lost their minds. It obviously worked out. Are you alright, Vardane? Yes. I was a little too close for comfort. That's all. I'm glad Kyla is okay. The way is clear. We should have talked here. They'll regroup in a short time. He means clear in the sense that the harpies are dead. I hope you're not squeamish, Madra Ali. I'm not. Let's go. Yeah, let's go, bro. What? Excellent. Let's go. As you say. All right, let's change up the music. Yeah, it's been the same music for like 3 million years. By the time we arrived back in the city, the sun had already set. Though in truth, the day had been so gloomy and overcast that the difference was subtle at best. Vardane had some sort of night patrol. He parted ways with us soon after we entered the city. The commander said something about not being seen with us, and also took her leave. They hadn't been lying about the gore. I wasn't afforded any time to examine the mangled remains, as we were moving fast. Despite the nightmare I'd lived through, the creatures having met the fate they hang a sadness over me. They'd been so desperate I couldn't help but guess at their reasons. Hungry? The elves certainly could have culled their numbers if they wanted to. An overpopulation of predatory species is a problem for a predator and a prey alike, but I didn't ask. I couldn't bear to just then. Why you feel bad for these losers? Alright, we back in Dulai's house. Then we stepped in Dulai's house. He and Erno both let out a sigh. I'm still wondering what the frick that purple text was. I feel like our powers a different conscious of someone. Maybe like an evil side of us is our cut the tail powers. I don't know. Erno immediately followed with the scoff, as though perturbed that Dulai had mimicked him. Your nerves are betraying you, Dulai, as are yours. though I expect we were made nervous by different things. He is far more lethal than harpies. I guessed at who they meant, but didn't ask. Uncharacteristic of me, as that was. It was then I realized I hadn't said a word in a long time. Yeah, get you some water, some food, sleep up. I wonder who killed those harpies. Was it you, Ernol? Ernol, come take out the trash. You're back. Who you saying you're back to? Me? Loser. Skylar burst in. Her voice nervous, but her expression relieved. Of course, darling. Stop doubting. Doubting that you could successfully defy Gallois? That you could do that and keep your life? Panic isn't helping. I noticed that Huron had been uncharacteristically quiet. Maybe he's wondering when our power's coming in. Alright, update me. I want to be updated. Alright, update me. Tell me what's going on. Gallois has agreed to temporarily stay his hand. Skylar, Ernol, and Heron all wore rancid expressions as though they swallowed spoiled meat, and I felt my stomach twist. Why? Yeah, like why? Why would he do that? He was convinced, and I'm sure you're about to elaborate. The Grand General isn't happy with the situation. We have proven ourselves antagonistic, and he will surely meet us in kind, which is probably why the others have such dire faces. His disapproving gaze swept across the room. So yes, there will be consequences, but consequences I'm prepared for. Nor this is an investment unworthy of the risk, as some of you seem to think. After saying that, his gaze settled on Skylar. Not at risk, a certainty. You'll pay for this. Likely we all will. You're in danger now too? What is he talking about, Dulai? Don't be concerned, Akila. Tell me! Tell me. I spoke stubbornly, and Dulai's expression softened. It is unwise to be so openly moved against Gallois. One can go decades skirting the shadows of defiance, but crossing boldly into Crossing boldly into draws a hard, heavy hand. As I said, I am prepared. I expect Gallois is not surprised by my action. Gallois seems to be ready to meet any who challenge him. It is no surprise who those may challenge him are, but he prefers to wait for others to make the first move. Doing that, he minimizes the risk to his position and can often prevent problems from ever beginning. So he ain't never gonna catch us. And so I have made the move, so to speak. All is fair. Oh great, we already made a move. Talking of it is a waste of time. It would all be moot if you and I prove the power of the Cutton. I felt a new weight being strapped to me. There was certainly justice in his fate being tied to mine, but still, I felt the burden of protecting him. Dulai smiled briefly. Your concern, however, is appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather die for my boys and girls. Gallois agreed to stay at the order of execution by 12 days. Bear in mind, however, Gallois does not always keep his word. While he is not a man who betrays confidence easily, he does have a way of conjuring up sympathetic reasons to explain a change of heart. Don't count on getting the full 12 days. We don't need that much time either way. All we need to do is prove your worth to Gallia. Prove it so well that executing you will net him too much disapproval, and the risk you pose alive becomes smaller than the risk you pose dead. Facts. That's all? I hesitated for a brief second before asking what seemed the obvious question. Then, how do I do that? If the Cutatel has made you stronger in some way, no true Gallian will shy away from it. The Cutatel is ours, and if it is strength, it is our strength, and one we would never deny. We would embrace it as we should. But if you're not strong enough to draw respect from the most brutal of all of us, there are less grandiose and really smarter ways of going about things. You know, there's smarter ways of going about you, but you know, I just let you get the hands. To start with, there is a fracture in the ranks. It has been growing slowly for years, still a ways off from forcing Gallois' hand, but there is enough to divide that throwing in one or the other and gaining their supports may prove too costly for Gallois to act against. You see, Majali, we are far from the only ones to move against him. The struggle would be very convincing to them to quickly throw in their weight, when so far all of their actions have been very careful. and very slow. There's also my father. You mean Buggy the Clown? Erno scoffed loudly. Yeah, you don't like a clown father. It seems we have options, Akila. Heron suggests you pursue the divide in the forces or go to his father. I'm not going to a circus. Erno suggests you go directly to the people at large. There's another option as well, a particular bold one. Oh no, I gotta pick an option. I would be a fool not to hear all the options, wouldn't I? There is a reason Galoy wants to snuff you out. Something about the cut and tell that threatens him. If it is simply a matter of pride or principle, I think he would have avoided this entirely. But something about you threatens him. If we discover what it is he is afraid of, we could use it as leverage. Leverage? Like threatening him? If that's how you prefer to go about it, Erno thinks you need to woo a city. But I say, you need only to manipulate one man. It's up to you to decide. You're letting me decide? Yes. Don't you want to? Of course. Of course I do. This is my fate, isn't it? My life, in the end. Yes, I want to decide. I wish I could give you more time to consider the options, but time is not a friend. What do you say? God, oh my god, oh my god! I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Let's just ask their let's get their opinions first before we really make a decision, because I'm not gonna lie, I keep it a buck with you. I don't know. You've been a little quiet, Heron. Have I? His smile was warm, but his eyes seemed distant. I'm not sure. I don't like any of the options very much. But my least favorite is Dulai's plan to blackmail my grandfather. He is not an easy man to deceive, and he is stubborn and very proud. Tiptoeing around his mind and stoking the right fires to your advantage is such a risky game when failure means your life majorly. It already does mean your life, yes, but perhaps Dulai should inform those he advises of his past. His past? What happened? Oh, there's some past. Heron sighed. He's made a mess of other people's lives plenty. I don't want you to be added on to the number. He references things which have no bearing on the matter at hand, nor do we have the time allowance to discuss it. Alright, okay. What about you, Erno? What you think? I take it you think I should impress the people? Erno nodded. You are not trying to coerce or divide Galea. You may even further unite us. Ooh, I actually kind of like that. I look at it as working with the tide rather than against it, but more relevant to your interests. I think that is the only way you will succeed. Well, I can always count on you to get to the point. He nodded again. Problem in working with the tide is you have to keep up. There's no playing by your own rules. It's all the will of the ocean. And that's a lot to learn in a short amount of time. That's facts. Okay, so what about Dulai? What do you think, bruh? Do you really think I could pull off manipulating the Grand General that way? Dulai stared at me for a while in consideration. I think you can. So I have to figure out a reason Galois needs me. Yes, I would suggest if I didn't already have ideas, we would help you. More specifically, I would. I caught sight of Skylar twisting her face in discontent. I don't even want her opinion. You're going to get yourself killed, Dulai. I hope not. Good talk. Alright, Skylar, what do you want? I don't even care about your opinion, but whatever. Let's get it. Surely you have an opinion, Skylar. Yes, I'm astounded I've managed to keep it in this long. Alright, you gonna tell me to kill myself? If you must stumble one carrot on a string after the next, you should try to exploit the civil divide. Change has been coming, and you might as well be trying to be the harbinger of it. The harbinger of change. As though there were not enough pressure on me already, she shrugged bitterly. Sometimes the harbinger of change is only an unwitting human who wants to go home, I guess. You don't even know if I want to go home anymore. I want to go home after I look at your face. Despite the pressure I felt in my chest, I managed a chortle. I know what I want to do. Alright, the options at hand that we have are interesting. Pretty much, Heron doesn't like the options at all, which I personally don't like them at all, which I kind of agree. Some of the options are kind of whack or they don't seem like they would work out well. Skylar agrees that we should attack the divide and hit where the gut, exploit a weakness pretty much. Even though it comes with a consequence where now attacking the divide will turn everyone and may make us look even more bad in the light that we already in. Erno believes we should go with the will of the people.
Bruh.
I don't know if that was the thunder. I don't even know if y'all can hear that, but that was thunder. And then Dulai thinks that we should persuade Galois, which, again, they already made the point that Galois is already an angry, fierce dude. It's their grandfather. They already know how this man works. They feel like that wouldn't work that well. Now, in the midst of all of this, we still have not figured out our power of the Cuttertail. Although we so far realized that it seems like we are getting closer to unlocking our Cuttertail, but I don't know exactly when that's gonna happen. My personal opinion, I'd rather do Ernals. Why is because, again, it's more natural to get it in the flow of things where you're not cheating nobody, you're not making anyone bad. And if anything, if we unify the whole or the people of Gallia, then this will make it more powerful than it already is, and making Akila look in more of a good light. Heron does make a good point. We have not been, you know, kind to the people of Gallia, I'm not gonna lie. So it would be really hard to persuade a group of people that already hates our gut. That's a little bit of a risk in a short amount of time. Exploiting the divide seems like the only way that we have, because think about it. We already have to like pick an option in a quick matter of time. May make us look bad, but we're already hiding a weakness, you know what I'm saying, to their point. But as usual, we're gonna save just in case things go south. Now that we're going, look at our stuff. So far, doubt is going down, I think. Our cunning is going up. Curiosity's up. Charm it's getting there. We definitely need more rest. Might is up, charity's up, tenacity's up as well. So we're definitely getting somewhere, bruh. All right, you already know what I'm gonna do. I've decided. And then of course, I forgot, we also got Heron's father, which I don't know. I feel like this might be the normie answer though. I don't know. I've not seen anybody else's gameplay or playthrough, but I really want to go to the people, but I feel like it's just not going to work out. And I don't know if we can get bad endings. I don't know how this game is even going to turn out, but I'm going to seek out the Splinter and the forces. Vidane has a strong connection with the commander, Calipoa. With her support, you will have the access you need. Make sure you're certain. Bro, look, I got the save if I'm not. Then it's decided. We all know what we'll do. The next morning came without any abrupt beginnings. There were no guards rushing through the halls, nor any harpies scratching at the walls. Delay told me to expect Vading sometime before noon, that he would be over as soon as he was finished with the scouting. He'd been working with the night prior, an attempt to enjoy the brief reprieve that was fruitfulness. I found myself pacing the halls of Dulai's home, until eventually coming to where I always seemed to, the dining hall. Skylar wandered in just as I had, from the other end of the room. No need to run, Skylar. I'm not on the Cuttertail-induced rampage. Never fear. Ha ha! I think if you were, I'd already be dead. You never know. I may spare you. A frustrated sigh escaped her. So I hear you're enlisting Vading, and more interestingly, Calipoa. I shot her a suspicious look, already wary of whatever she was getting at. You know, I sighed. What? Just because he's eager to treat you like a lost puppy doesn't mean you have to act like one. He's not going to be able to save you. Alright bro, what is your problem? For real, for real. What is wrong with you? She sighed dramatically. Did we go over this already? No. I don't have anything against you, but would you be content to say anything if you were watching your friends make a decision before Doom after Doom decision? And what are you doing to help out? Nothing. You were just a maid. Go get me my English breakfast. Your solution is, I don't have one, but your solution is that I lay down and die. I don't like Skylar, bro. She could get the freak out. I don't like your energy, bro. Akila? You name him and he comes. Excuse me. You were expecting me, weren't you, Akila? I was, yes. Thank you for coming, Vading. Of course. Dulai told a little bit about what you were planning. Well, more than a little bit. His gaze shifted to Skylar. I'll leave you two at it. Her tone was skeptical, in a way Vadane seemed to find irritating. She left from the same door she entered. I'm not gonna act, just because I'm going with this plan don't mean I trust Vadane. I'm just like, look, I gotta go with a plan. You want Calipoa to introduce you to Commander Leakin? Commander Leakin, the unofficial leader of the division that's grown in the force. I'll be plain. Please do. Leakin is a suspicious man who has made biding time in an art form. This division has set has been in the making since long before I was born. He is not going to be convinced to make any dramatic movements now unless you give him something very convincing. And how? Well, therein lies the rub. I don't know what they were thinking when they suggested this. Maybe it is really the only option. Great. So he didn't really like this plan. Great. You're not on board? Last thing I need is for you to be second-guessing this, Vardane. I'm sorry. Look, I'll do whatever I can. You have my word. Getting Kali to help shouldn't be too hard. I can't promise anything when it comes to her, but I think I'll be able to convince her. How are you going to manage that? He hesitated, avoided meeting my gaze. Tell me. Out with it. He sighed. Kali, I know she wants to help you, but if she thinks the cost of helping you is too much. I understand. What do we do about that? Okay, what do we do about that? And how do we prevent her from thinking that? I'm not sure. She's not without a heart. Sympathy might do us some good, but Akila, I'm going to do everything I can to make her do all she can in kind. And further, assuming we could get Kalipo's aid, we then have Likan to convince. Likan, I don't know what to expect. Other than it'll be hard. We can't rely on blackmail to begin. Great. I don't really know what will sway him. I think he and Kalipo are after the same thing, but I've only ever seen him in a handful of times. He shifted, uncomfortable. I'm sorry, Akila. I just don't know how much I can help. I want to, though. I'll answer whatever questions I can, and I'll be here with you. I'll do whatever I can. Get some rest. I suspect we'll be up through the night. I'll be back with Kali later. This is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, huh? Kalipoa wasn't easy to convince as we'd hoped. She said in no uncertain terms that she was willing to lose Gillian lives, the good ones, just to save me. She agreed to bring the matter to Liakin and to help me, as long as that line wasn't crossed. Vardane had likewise promised her that I'd do something to benefit the rebellion. This not something I had agreed on or even been made aware of until after he said it. That was a bridge to cross. Later, assuming I'd managed to avoid execution. Alright, so I guess we're gonna stop it here, guys. Now, I need the opinions of y'all. Do y'all think this was a good idea to go with this route? Try to hit the divide in where it hurts. I feel like there's always consequences to an option, so I'm not really like, backtracking on my options. If I pick an option, I pick it. I'm not gonna complain about it. This is our playthrough as well, so I do still have the save points. So if you guys want me to go back and change the save, let me know in the comment section. But if not, I'm just gonna keep going with this no matter what the outcome turns out to be. My mind is now really honestly thinking if I were to go back, I'd rather go with Lanre. He knows a lot about the cut to tell, and there might be a way where we could find another outcome. Either way, I am wondering if there even is bad endings, and will this cause a bad ending? Because again, with the other games I've been playing recently, like Pocket Mirror, Aria Story, and whatnot, it seemed like with those games, those choice-based options only happen at the end, and that's when it really affect the ending. I don't know if this game is just like, well, all the options I've been making so far has been affecting the overall ending. I don't know how complex this is really, but y'all let me know your thoughts and theories. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're enjoying this. And if you don't, anyway, y'all stay blessed, keep your head space strong, and I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.